thought it was you. I'm so glad you could make it. Now come on in out of that rain because I am making a mulled wine and I'm pretty sure you want one. Yes? Okay, let's get a bit of Christmas cheer going. Because I thought today for our little house tour, it was only right that we both had a little festive drink. So there is yours. Cheers. So I decided to make this video after recently running a poll with certain members of this community, asking them what they would most like to see from me this festive season. And the number one result was actually a Christmas house tour, which was quite surprising to me because I do feel like you've seen every inch of this house since my YouTube journey first started, but nevertheless, I'm honoured to show you around today. And it's quite exciting this Christmas because last year we did a very 1940s inspired Christmas. It was very humble and we were actually featured in a magazine for all of our traditional and classic festive celebrations. This year, however, I am leaning into the nostalgia of my own past a little bit more, as is my mum, and the theme is very much nostalgia. And rather than just basing it purely in the living room, we've infused that throughout the entire house. Not in grand or incredibly exciting ways, but nevertheless ways I would love to share with you. So let's start with a bit of a nod to the 40s with a bit o' bunting. So this is just to kind of get that feel for Christmas. I mean, how satisfying is it that it fit that well in that window in front of my nan's not net curtain, valance curtain, is it called? Absolutely love that. A little bit of festive charm. And if we look just above, we have some off-cut paper chains. The rest you'll see a little bit later on. And like I said, we've never really decorated the kitchen. And now I look at it, I can't think why, because I think it looks rather charming. And that charm really does continue. So let's swap places. Because have a look at this corner for a bit of nostalgia. So this beautiful little retro snowman light we thought goes so well with our VHS telly, which is of course doing back-to-back reruns of Only Fools and Horses. So this is like a little bit of a grandma coded retro nostalgic corner, which we really like. But if we go over here to the pantry, we've got a few little nods, more nods to our own nostalgia. One of which is a Christmas film that we absolutely love. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know exactly which one it is, but I'm not going to tell you. See if you can guess in the comments which film are we referencing right here. And we've also got some little bits and bobs, like this kitchen roll is based on the snowman and the snow dog, and it's just so sweet. Again, very nostalgic. So that's just a little nod to keep the pantry feeling festive. And then if we go just over here, everything else in the kitchen I think I've covered. Oh no, not quite. You know what? Let's do the bathroom first. So this is our bathroom. I had to turn the light on because it's quite dim today. And again, last year we couldn't use a lot of our decorations that I've remembered since, oh gosh, since childhood. We've always had these out at Christmas, but they were in storage last year because they weren't in keeping with that 1940s feel. But now they get to be scattered all about the house, and we've just got a little bit of a festive thing going on in the bathroom, which I really like. Again, nothing too crazy, but I did want to point out this. So obviously fairy lights, a very Christmassy feeling, but this is actually the real stained glass to this 1920s property, because although my house has been called the 1940s house many a time and is heavily inspired decor-wise by the 40s, this is actually a 1920s house. So it saw the 40s, but it wasn't built in the 40s. And this beautiful piece of stained glass is from the original windows. So we didn't have the heart to throw it away. So my mum came up with the great idea of getting it framed and then using it to kind of make this space a little bit more special. And I think we've done really well. It's like this all year round, but at Christmas, those fairy lights just feel more in keeping, don't they? Okay, I will follow you out and show you the last couple of bits in the kitchen. Okay, we've got to have a moment for Mr. Ted. He was from my grandparents' house. He is missing an arm, but at least he's nice and warm in his little Christmas jumper. And then we have this lovely nutcracker doormat, which again, just makes the kitchen, it's kind of like decorating a doll's house, just little touches that make things feel a bit more festive, full of Christmas cheer. Okay, so little Santa Claus here, a very traditional Father Christmas there that my mum has had for as long as I can remember. And then the stairs. Now, if you stay at the bottom and I'll go to the top, I will tell you why I am so proud of these stairs. So, light on. I really tried to infuse that 1940s elegance and old Hollywood drama in the stairs because I really love this space and I think we've made a lot of it. But every Christmas, nothing really happens in this space. And so this year, we're doing a bit of garland with some lovely red bows down the side. And I just think this space now looks really elegant and quite dramatic. You know, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And if you join me carefully up the stairs, we're going to meet some more little friends. So a couple of years ago, Mum and I visited Chatsworth House and they had this story going along where you had to spot as many mice as you could as you made your way through the grand house. Now, we love any kind of animal dressed in clothes, and you'll know this if you follow me or know anything about my content. Animals dressed in clothes is just a bit of me. And so we just got two little mice right here. This one is actually from Chatsworth House. I think it was last Christmas. And we've also got this beautiful, very festive coloured plant. What is it called again?
I think it's a poinsettia.
We think it's a poinsettia, and this was from my wonderful boyfriend Jack. And what's quite strange about this is this was actually my grandpa's favourite plant, and Jack didn't know that. So it's almost like it was from Jack and my grandpa. Anyway, come through this way. We've got my lovely bedroom. We've got Betty having a little snooze. We've got a lovely fairy that was from my nan. She absolutely had to have a place. And then if you come just over here, try not to look that side of the room. There's a lot of stuff going on, but you can see a lovely fire going and some little bits and bobs of which may become clear in a future video. So I'm just going to leave them there as a little Easter egg. Although it's not Easter, it's Christmas. And then of course over here, we've got some more nostalgic little friends. If you watch my video where I mentioned films that I really love, that you should watch at Christmas, you may recognise him. And also, I'm not saying this is the Raymond Briggs Father Christmas, but does anybody else see a resemblance? And as, you know, we said in the bathroom, sometimes fairy lights, oh yes, they are on, it's just bright in here. Sometimes fairy lights have their place all year round. So I've got my snow globe here, which is a Studio Ghibli inspired snow globe. Some lovely fairy lights in my office, but to be honest, they're here all year round. Let's go to my mum's room, shall we? Should we get a light on? Wow, it's so bright. I can't even tell if that's on or off. Really good, that is. It's a wireless lamp, so you don't need a plug socket, which in old houses is really handy. So in my mum's room again, there's not too much going off in here, but I have to bring your attention to this because this I hung up and it belonged, well, it didn't belong to, it was made by my wonderful, creative, funny, stylish nan, basically. And down here we have two little Christmas friends, and I can't remember how we came about these, but one was from my grandpa to me, or the other way around. One might have been from my nan, but I always now say that one's grandpa and one's nan. So mum's room has just got a teeny little sprinkle of Christmas magic, just a pinch. Nothing really to say in the garden, nothing really to say in her secret toilet. It's just a secret toilet, although, you know, pretty cozy in there. Okay, let's go downstairs. Can you believe we're doing this all in one shot? That's quite scary, isn't it? Don't fall down the stairs. I mean, when I post the video, I will include some shots of the rooms, so it won't look to you like it's been all done in one shot. But for me and Mum, we know that it has. Okay, in the hallway then. So you didn't really see this when you first came in, but I just wanted to start right here. These hearts were made by my lovely nan. I mean, she was just such a creative, crafty little lady. And yeah, I think they look really nice. And then moving down, we've got some lovely festive nostalgic charm with this little piece of decorative loveliness, of which I realised the bulb needed changing. And I used my own agency and did that. And I was quite proud of myself. And then down here, we've got a little angel, which again, I've had for as long as I can remember. And over there, you can see the mulled wine and a little itty bitty Santa, which is from my Auntie Carol, on top of the bottle. Another thing I wanted to mention was just the outside decorations for a moment as well. So this holly wreath we bought quite a few years ago now, and we've always thought it looked really pretty, especially with the gold door knocker. Yes, I am aware that I need to change the screws so that they match the, should I say, brass door knocker. It's on my to-do list, so leave me alone. And then we've got this lovely Santa lantern, which again, wasn't really in keeping with the 40s theme last year, but I think it looks really nice out here this year. And this holly wreath, oh my gosh, I actually homemade this. So I bought the wreath itself from a shop, obviously, but then I added all of the frills on top myself. And I was really, really proud of this. So I just wanted to give this a bit of a special mention. Oh my gosh, that's the neighbour. You're all right. Now we must never leave the house again. Ever, ever, ever. I'll see you in the new year. Shut that door now. But now, look at me, because we're going to see something really special. This room is the big guns, so follow me. Da 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 da! This room gives me so much happiness. Oh, I don't know even where to start with this room. This, of course, as with every living room, is the pièce de résistance of any Christmas gathering. And, you know, this is where presents get opened and advent calendars, and maybe you sing Christmas carols, you watch a Christmas movie. It all happens right here. So just a few little highlights. Let's not all forget the origins of Christmas. We have our beautiful nativity, which was my grandparents', and we've had this out every single year. I absolutely love the nativity. And yeah, it's just, the minute that's out, it's Christmas for me. So moving here, we've got my nan's lovely little toy shop, which she used to have in the Christmas villages that she used to make. Oh, mum and me are going now, even saying that. And this little guy is Santa Claus. Now, don't be put off by his shifty look, but for as long as my mum can remember from her childhood, he has faced out of the window at my grandparents' house, greeting everybody when they came home. So obviously after my grandparents sadly passed away and we inherited him, he had to do the same here. Now this lovely piece is my carousel merry-go-round that again I got when I was younger, and that's what I mean about this year being more about nostalgia than period accurateness or a particular point of history. We've got a lot of nostalgic things this year. It doesn't work sadly, as in it doesn't go round anymore. There must be something wrong with the motor, but I'm sure one day I'll get it working and I absolutely love it. And of course, the Christmas tree. So we've got our fairy, our gorgeous retro Santa lights, which I just love these things so much. They really give that nostalgia. A lovely 1950s Hornby train, which we'll get going in a minute, and you'll see it going around. And of course, some old little toys. We've got Paddington Bear. We've got a lovely wind-up cat and ball, which I actually got from one of my subscribers. So thank you so much. They are still out every single Christmas. We have got so many things in this room. Advent calendars, a Gilmore Girls one that I found for me and my mum, and even one for Betty, because you got to, and one, now this one actually was the very last advent calendar that my nan ever bought for me and my mum. We'll probably never open it, but it's still gonna come out every single year. So some advent calendars, of course. How can you not have a traditional snow globe? Just again, very whimsical, very comforting. This is actually a music box. I can't remember, was this made by our family friend? It's made by...
I made it and then every year something dropped off, so something was added on.
So an old family friend of ours, my grandpa's best friend, made this. And then every year...
60 years ago.
About 60 years ago. thank you for that. Oh, still going. It's those kind of memories. You know, people can say, oh, they're just objects. But when you've got a music box made by a dear friend, and then just above it, you've got Nan's other canvas that she made with her own hands, just to give me and my mum a bit more Christmas cheer. Whew. And right below it, you've got the robin with both of my grandparents' ashes inside, which feels very fitting. I knew I'd get emotional for this video at some point. Anyway, round the tree, we've got some lovely gifts, some homemade Christmas crackers, and this amazing gift I got a few years ago from Penhaligon's perfume company, which is actually an advent calendar, which I've never really opened or used, but I prefer the look of the actual sack. It just looks like Santa's sack, and it always looks nice by the tree. And just a moment for all of the advent calendars in this particular space. You all know from a recent video that the Gilmore Girls one is actually secondhand, and it is from 2024, but everything inside is still intact. And then right on the other end of the spectrum is the Penhaligon's advent calendar, which, to be honest, I wouldn't have paid full retail price for. They actually gifted this calendar to me about 3 years ago when I went to one of the only content creator type events I've ever been invited to, which was the launch of their new perfume. And the advent calendar itself has pretty much remained intact since. And I don't really know what I plan to do with it. Maybe I'll gift it to somebody one day because it's very fragrance based. But to be honest, I just like it as a decorative piece because of that lovely like North Pole inspired sack. But the actual advent calendar itself is also very pretty. And then we have, the paper chains. So as I said to you, we have some beautiful paper chains going all around the room, and they just look so festive and so lovely. And some of these are actually from the 1940s. So we've got, you know, these showstoppers, which are actually from the 1940s. And then over here, near our beautiful fireplace, I mean, this just looks like the kind of chimney that Santa would want to come down. These are from the 1940s as well. We've got some classic vintage Christmas cards, again, from the actual 40s, written in as well. These were from eBay, can you believe? And then the last Christmas cards that Nan ever sent to us. And traditional holly on the mantle and around the picture frames, which was a very 1940s thing. Which is why I said this is still that simplistic 1940s Christmas that we love, but we're just carrying through some of our own nostalgia this year because it feels right. And I've got to point out these really lovely retro fairy lights in the windowsill. We didn't use them last year either because of, you know, historical accurateness. We didn't want to. Fairy lights weren't really a thing in the 40s. And I also wanted to mention this little ornament down here. Now, this has been a bit of a dramatic ordeal, unfortunately, because this little ornament is another thing that we inherited from Nan and Gramps' house. So for as long as my mum can remember, it had a place by the mantle at Christmas time, and it depicts two little children who have fallen asleep, I think writing their letter to Santa, and they've got some cookies on their knee for him as well. And when we transferred everything over from Nan and Gramps' house, Mum unfortunately dropped this and it smashed, and she was truly heartbroken. But she has glued it back together. And to be honest, I think it's got even more charm now, knowing what it's lived through. But in the same spirit as these two little children, I thought I would embark on one of my own traditions. And I don't know if everybody does this. I think it is a British thing. Maybe in some other, like in European countries, they do this, but we like to burn our letters to Santa. And this is the whole reason I'm kind of just wearing my PJs today, because we're not doing a strict 1940s inspired Christmas. We are doing something more sentimental. And so these are actually my grandpa's pajamas, which people might find a bit weird, but these were my grandpa's PJs. And so I wanted to wear them today. And I thought you and I could burn all of my very best secret wishes to Santa together. Shall we? Hopefully you get to the North Pole nice and safely. Don't panic, this was second hand, but this is a Fortnum and Mason music box.
I think it had biscuits in.
Oh, it had biscuits in. I didn't even know it opened.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh, that's so fancy, isn't it? A biscuit tin that sings to you. Only Fortnum and Mason could think of that.
Lots of different musical chimes going on.
It's like they're fighting for attention, all the musical boxes. It does actually spin round as well. See if I can get that going. Ah, there you go. Don't actually know if that will copyright me on YouTube because it is a well-known Christmas tune. But apparently Charles Dickens was a big fan of Fortnum and Mason. And yeah, it's just nice to have that going, really. So the last thing I wanted to show you was my boyfriend's 1950s Hornby wind-up locomotive train that goes around the Christmas tree. Now, it can be a bit of a fiddle to get this at just the right speed so it goes around in a really nice, whimsical kind of way and doesn't derail. But let's try our best and see if we can wind her up and get her going. Yes, yes. Oh, it's so precious. You can't get much more nostalgic than that. Polar Express who? Got a little candle there as well, in a really nice festive candle holder. And the last thing to point out, again, from my lovely Nan. And if you've seen the Ralph Lauren Christmas trend this year, then that should tell you how on trend she was before it was even trendy. This was handmade by my Nan. And it's right in the centre of all the people that she loved, because she was at the centre of our hearts, and so now her heart is at the centre of us. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to just sob for a bit. But yes, that is basically my Christmas house tour this year. Nothing incredibly groundbreaking, but something that feels incredibly personal, intimate and special to me and my mum. Our simple and lovely little Christmas. And that's what Christmas should be. It doesn't follow a particular theme. It's not about a particular period of history. It doesn't follow a trend. It's simply ours. And so I truly hope that wherever you are in the world, you have a Christmas that feels very much like yours, because that's the way that Christmas should feel. And thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. I am so honoured to welcome you into my home week after week after week. And I'm telling you, if you could physically all be here and all fit in, me and my mum would have definitely had you all round for Christmas dinner. Sadly, that is not the case, but at least we still have this. So cheers and Merry Christmas.